We're here. Hi, Amy.
Hey, and we're super excited.
Oh my gosh, my heart's pounding. I'm so excited. Okay, so the cat is out of the bag, right? We're starting a CM co-op, and it's just so fabulous, and we're so excited. And registration is now open. Okay, so there was a wait list. We had so many people on the wait list, but now it is open, ready for registration. So now you can go sign up and join the Charlotte Mason Co-op.
And what's really cool, it's not just a Charlotte Mason Plenary Co-op. It's a Charlotte Mason Co-op.
That's true. We have teachers from so many different Charlotte Mason like expert areas and topics. And so it's like a real collaborative effort. We've got Leah Martin from My Little Robins, and we have RaeAnna Goss from her composer study and Solfa. Oh my gosh, it's just such great people, such great teachers that really, really know their stuff. They know, they're like, they're experts in the subject that they teach, which is what I love. So it's not just me. That's not just Amy. It's a lot of different people.
Yeah. And it's about creating community across everywhere, not just, your one little pocket. It's creating community and connections across all sorts of different special interest areas in Charlotte Mason.
Yes, and community for moms, because even though like we have our expert areas and stuff, and we're teachers and Charlotte Mason leaders, we need community too, right? We're moms, we got kiddos, we're homeschooling, and everybody needs community, and that's what the plenary is really all about. The word plenary means to include everyone. Like that word, I chose it for a very specific reason, because I wanted everyone to feel like they had a seat at the table, a place to come and feel comfortable. And so, like if you ever go to a conference and they have like a plenary session is when everybody is invited to that session. And so here we are with the Charlotte Mason Co-op, and everybody is invited. And it's just, I'm going to get emotional because it's just such a dream come true for me.
And there's going to be a lot of different ways to connect too.
Yes. We have so many cool stuff inside the co-op, right? So not only do we have classes, but we have like Mom's Night Out. We're going to have book clubs. We're going to have like mother's education courses, planning sessions. Oh my gosh, homeschool planning sessions. Yeah, some good stuff in there.
And don't forget about the kids. What do we have for the kids?
Oh yeah. So yes, the students have a forum area. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk details on how this works. So you sign up for the co-op. The co-op is like a membership, and we wanted it to be a membership because it allows us to have extra like privacy and security features. So it's only $10 a month for the whole family. That's another thing. We wanted it to be super, super affordable. Okay, super affordable. So it's only $10 a month for the whole family to sign up for the co-op. And then there's even a coupon to bring it down to $8 because you guys are founding members, right?
Right.
So you join the co-op, and then you can go register for any class that you want that's being offered in the co-op. And we have so many different classes. So it's like a la carte. You can pick and choose what classes that you want. And you can see what works with your schedule, what subjects you want, what subjects you don't want. So it's not like a co-op where you attend all day long and you do all the subjects. That's not this. There's different classes on different days, and you can pick what you want. And I'm just talking up a storm, and Amy's just nodding. I probably should let Amy talk.
The other interesting thing is that now I don't know if we have any pre-recorded classes this time, but I know
Not this time.
we plan to next time, right? In the spring.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you can't take a class because it conflicts with your schedule live, then you could go ahead and take it the next semester. You wouldn't have the benefit of being in a community class with other people, but you would still have access to the class.
Yes, so every live class that is offered this semester will be a recorded class offered in the spring semester. Now, if you purchase one of those recorded classes, you don't get that live interaction with the teacher or with the students in the actual class, but you still get live interaction in the forum for that class with the teacher and other students. So that's exciting. Because, we got people from all over that, Australia and England and all over the place that want to take classes. So the time zone thing can be a little bit difficult, but that's why we did the recorded classes. What else? So yes, you get a forum. We have a private forum area, and within the private forum area, there's a student forum. So kids can connect, talk to each other, talk about the classes they're taking, talk about whatever, video games, whatever, have fun, make friends.
Play games online together, I don't know.
Yeah, and it'll be parent moderated, so it's not going to be like a free-for-all, but let's talk about community and making friendships online, because Amy and I are like the poster child for friendships online. Yeah, so we met, has it been almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's been about 10 years.
Yeah, online.
On the Ambleside online forum back in the day.
Yeah. Taken
and that's where we first
classes
met
together. Yeah.
Oh, we read books together in the forum. Yeah.
And chatted a bunch, and then we started chatting just off the
Facebook.
forum. Yeah, and then so obviously Amy's the special needs consultant at a Plenary now, because I learned about all the fabulous things and advocacy work that she does for kids with special needs. But so we've been friends this whole time online, and then just a couple of weeks ago at the Great Homeschool Convention, we got to meet each other in person.
We've been friends for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
We've been business partners basically on some ventures, and then a consultant basis on another, and all that. And we had never met each other.
I know. But so it just goes to show you that true friendships can be formed online. And in this day and age, we're so thankful for that. Because right now, it's hard to go to in-person events sometimes right now. And so online events and classes and mom's night out and things like that are just such a blessing to so many people. So, if you've ever...
You also
go ahead.
get the benefit. You get the benefit of getting to kind of do life with other families who might have already been through things that you're going through. And I felt like that was one of the benefits of the forum, but it was also kind of one of the benefits, like when I got to know you, there were things that you had already done with your kids, educating them. And I'm like, how do you handle this situation? This sounds really challenging. And you're like, oh, well, this is how I do it. I'm like, oh, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, I'm a little further along in the journey than you are. I'm quite a bit older than you are. That's okay. But we won't talk about age. So let's talk about some classes that we're offering in the Charlotte Mason Co-op. Okay, so
this is my favorite
first of all, so I'm going to offer a Plutarch class. Yay!
Yes, and you have not lived until you have heard Rachel talk about Plutarch. I got to hear so much about Plutarch at the Great Homeschool Convention. So now I am officially sold, despite the fact that we haven't quite managed to reach that point developmentally yet. But I learned a lot about Plutarch, and it was enjoyable. And we talked a lot about philosophy and Plutarch at our table. We're probably the only table at the convention talking about philosophy. And well, Plutarch was probably talked at another table, but not from a philosophical perspective.
True. We had people at our table almost constantly. Like Amy and I didn't get to eat for like the whole weekend. We talked to so many people, and we had such wonderful, deep conversations about Charlotte Mason's philosophy and about Plutarch and about character development. And it was just fabulous. But yes, so.
And then we had Cersei Institute come by because they loved your picture studies for Plutarch, which I thought was way cool.
But then, so yes, I gave a talk on Plutarch and how Charlotte Mason used it in her character building and citizenship curriculum, and at the Great Homeschool Convention. And I think we converted a lot of people over to Plutarch because, a lot of people are scared or intimidated with Plutarch, and I really want to make it. My guides make it much more accessible. So the Annotated Plutarch series make it just a lot easier to do it yourself. But if it's something that you want to outsource, I'm here.
Well, and not to mention, there is something to be said for learning a subject from someone who's passionate about it. I outsource our spelling type stuff for grammar-y type thingies for my dyslexic daughter because I don't love it. I'm dyslexic. She is too. It's much better when she learns it from someone who actually loves it. So that's the real benefit of taking the Plutarch class, is that you get to learn about it from someone who already loves and is passionate about it. So
and I think it's just so much fun, and I love Plutarch. And I've taught Plutarch for years and years and years at our local teens class. We have a Shakespeare and Plutarch coffee with Shakespeare and Plutarch class, and it's just so much fun, and the teens love it. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, Amy, tell us about your classes.
Say what?
Tell me about your classes. You're teaching two classes.
Yes, I am. Okay, so the one that everybody knows that I'm teaching is yoga. Mm-hmm. It's going to be family yoga. We're going to have some fun themes or music or something different each week. It'll be something fun. I've got 2 sessions. So you could sign up for one session if you wanted to do every other week, or you could sign up for both sessions and do it every week. So that gives you options. Also, something that people might not be aware of is yoga is for everyone. So even if
I'm aware.
Yeah, well, not everybody knows that they offer yoga to quadriplegics.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool what you can do with yoga. And you're a certified yoga instructor.
Yes.
And with some special certifications also, right?
Yes. Prenatal. So if you're pregnant, come on, I got that covered. I also am insured to work with special populations, such as children with special needs, different kinds of special things going on.
Wonderful.
And then also my background in school psychology. So but it's way fun, and you get to participate with other people, and it'll be all about making it accessible. That's one of the things that's the downside of a recorded class, is that you really don't get to interact, and so you can't really get a lot of feedback. It's harder to adapt, but in a live class, we can do all kinds of adaptations. We can show how accessible it is for anybody and where you need to be working in your body right now.
Yeah, so that's the first adaptations.
Yeah. Everything I do is about adaptation.
That's what the plenary is all about, right? Adapting.
That too. Yeah, that's why we're here.
Your way. It's yoga your way.
Everything your way. Yep. Yeah, so the second class I'm teaching, which most people may not know, is woodworking. We're going to be doing an introduction to woodworking, taken from more of a developmental perspective. And so what that means is we are going to take a preset of tools. You can use ones you already have if you have them, or you can buy the ones I recommended. And we're going to learn what each of those tools is, what it's used for, how to use it correctly, and then use it to make a bunch of different projects. But in there, I'm also going to be offering adaptations. When my daughter was 3, that's when she got her first tool set and started building things. My son couldn't figure out the hammer till about 10. So there's a range in when people figure these things out. It's totally normal. The one who couldn't do the hammer till 10, he read it too. So, I mean, you can't have a strength in something if you're not having a weakness in another area. That's just normal.
Yes.
Because your weaknesses are what give you your strengths. So tying that in there. So the woodworking, we'll be using all these different tools to make all these different projects. Yes, I am super excited about Ty loving the class. So it'll be different projects though, but even if you have like disabilities or a child who has a little bit of a delay in development, it should be accessible for most people. There is one limitation, they are hand tools. So you will need to have some use of your hands. There are adaptations we can make, but there is a limit to that. But I think we'll be offering some other options in the future that will have different adaptations with different things. You can do any handicraft developmentally. It's all about developing a deeper relationship. I know, I do too.
So great.
It's all about developing a deeper relationship with the material, the techniques, and also a deeper relationship together as a family. That's how I love approaching handicrafts.
Yeah.
If you get so stuck on me and what I'm doing and me doing it correctly and perfectly, then you really miss out on the opportunity for relationships, because relationships aren't about perfection. They tend to be a bit more messy, and they tend to grow and change. And that's what handicrafts is about. There's not one right way. Okay, this is one way. How can we use that technique differently to create something totally different?
Love it. Okay, so we have, I'm going to go down some the course list. Now we had a couple of people, some of the teachers join us. Some of them have had technical difficulties, so they've dropped off, but we still have one, maybe two that can join us. Okay, so let's go through some classes. I'm going to go through some of the classes for some of the teachers that are not with us. So first of all, we have a Spanish class with I'm going to try my hand at Spanish. Señora Gose. Yes, I think I said that right. And she is fabulous because she created Flip Flop Spanish. She's like the creator of that curriculum, and so many Charlotte Mason families use that curriculum. In fact, Catherine Levinson found Suzanne at a conference once and ran over to her with her little like flashcards, her Flip Flop Spanish flashcards, and said, "This is the most Charlotte Mason thing I've ever seen. This is so great." And Catherine Levinson actually sent me a message the other day about how excited she just so excited that we're offering the co-op, and I just thought that was so sweet of her to say that. So anyway, back to Flip Flop Spanish.
Spanish. You can outsource Spanish.
Yes.
You can learn it yourself. Parents can participate in these classes, so you get to learn from people
because
who know how to pronounce stuff.
Yeah, and because all the fees are per family, not per student, right? We want to keep it affordable so the whole family can join in. So yeah, Suzanne is a blast, and she makes it so much fun. I just love her, and I wish she was able to join us today, but I don't see her on my feed. So wanted to give a shout out to her. And then, okay, I'm very excited about Larry Joe's classes. So Larry Joe is our science education expert. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna bring Stacy on. Let's say hi to Stacy. Because good. She knows Larry Joe too. So let me see. There's Stacy. Hey, Stacy, how are you?
Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, hold on. I got to unmute you. This is live.
No,
there you are.
Hear me. Here I am.
Okay, yes. Yay. Okay, so Stacy, let's talk about your class first, and then we'll talk about Larry Joe's classes. Okay.
All right.
So you're teaching 2 classes, right?
I am. Yes. One is intended for children, and it's going to be about both of my classes are going to be botany, so herbs and how to use them for our health. So we're going to learn in the kids class. I want to talk about There are plants that you can forage for, plants that you probably see. I know they all grow in the United States. I cannot speak for other countries, but I know they all grow everywhere in the United States. So I picked 6 plants that everyone will have access to at some point during the year. So we're going to cover those. We're going to learn about them. We're going to sketch them. We're going to make herbal remedies with them. You're going to know everything about that plant. It is a lot of fun. And then the mom's class, we're going to do intentional health from your garden. So I almost called it kitchen herbs, but then I realized I wanted to include some things like calendula and elder, and people typically don't keep those in their kitchen cabinet. So we're doing garden herbs. So we're going to talk a lot about the energy of plants, which is what makes using herbs effective. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be more than just botany. It's going to be health and learning about how things interact in our body and how we can get the most out of the plants around us.
So Stacy is an herbalist. She is so knowledgeable. Like, you have taken so many herbal courses, and like, her knowledge of herbs and plants just astounds me.
Well, and she studied under Rosemary Gladstar. You can't get bigger than that.
You can. I love Rosemary Gladstar. And right now I'm studying with the Tiaras, which are Leslie and Michael Tiara. And you'll see their books everywhere. Leslie Tiara even has a kids' herb book that's fabulous. So I get to rub elbows with some of the greatest herbalists of our time. And there's nothing better than sitting on a Zoom call face-to-face with some of these people and getting to ask all my burning questions. And I have a ton of them. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So your courses are called Discovering the Wonder of Backyard Plants for Kids.
Yep.
And then Intentional Health with Garden Herbs for Moms Only.
That's right.
Moms Only.
That's right.
I love it. That is just a mom's class.
Yes.
And you have a website for Intentional Health as well, right? That's the name of your website.
Yeah, that is the name. Yep. So I'm with Every Intention as my blog. And then I finally opened up a business page on there because I do one-on-one consultations. And so I wanted to have my business page. So it's there as well.
She's helped so many people. Oh my goodness. All right. So Stacy, let's talk about Lari Jo and how fabulous she is.
Let's do it. Because she is so fabulous.
Okay. So for anybody that doesn't know, Lari Jo Edwards is our science education specialist at a Charlotte Mason Plenary. And I'm so thankful to have her. She is teaching, okay, let me count. I think it's six courses.
Wow.
And it includes high school science, you guys. High school science. We're talking high school chemistry, high school physics, high school biology. I mean, and she's an actual scientist teaching science. I love it so much. I don't have her degrees written down, but it's on her bio. She has lots of degrees, just like Amy. Y'all impressed me. And a master's in some science field, and then I think another master's in education science field. I have to go look it up. These people are smarter than me, so I can't remember these things. But to have an actual scientist teaching high school science from a Charlotte Mason perspective. How fabulous is that? I'm so excited. Okay, so she's teaching those classes, a middle school science class, her Field Notes Fridays, of course. That's where it all started.
Yes. My kids took the first one. They're like, can we sign up for all of them? I'm like, we're going to be traveling. They're like, we can do it in the car. You got a phone, make it happen.
Yes, because there's so much fun. Like when you first hear about, nature study, online class, how does that work? But she makes it work, and she makes the kids get outside. And the response to that class has been so fabulous that, I had this whole Charlotte Mason co-op idea kind of working in the back of my brain for years. I've had this years in my brain. And I've been wanting to do it. And I just didn't really you have to wait for the right time for the pieces to fall together. And so her nature study classes were kind of like my test classes. And so when I attended her first Field Notes Fridays class, and I saw the interaction with the moms and the kids and everybody holding up their field guide, sketches and sharing what they found outside, and just people talking and just, oh my gosh, having such a fabulous time. I thought, oh my gosh, okay, we have to do this co-op thing. If this is what it's like, we have to do this co-op thing.
Well, the really amazing advantage of being able to do it in a co-op like this is that you get to see nature from all over the world, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, they're definitely already all over the country, because there have definitely been some plants we've seen that we don't have where we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's been really cool. And then I think one of them that we were in, the kids found a snake that was eating a lizard. And they were like, you have snakes in your backyard? I'm like, oh yeah, lots of them. And they're a protected species.
Oh no, you can't, oh my goodness.
On the bright side, they eat rattlesnakes. So, but yeah, you learn all kinds of things hearing about what's going on in other people's backyards.
Yeah,
so,
it's really
cool.
cool.
And by the way, her degrees are a Bachelor of Science in Marine Biology from Texas A&M, a Master's of Science degree in Ecological Teaching and Learning from Lesley University, and Educational Coordinator at the Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries Program in South Texas.
That's where we met her. She's so great. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, Stacy.
Rachel, is she also teaching field sketching?
Yes. Oh, thank you. Field Notes Friday and Introduction to Field Sketching, which I've heard she's fabulous.
It's amazing. We took it when she offered it. So we saw Larry Joe's artwork one time and we're like, who painted this? And she said, I did. And, my sister-in-law and I were like, can you give us classes? And she's like, sure. And we're like, no, seriously, we will take classes. And so she offered to give us classes. And that's how we learned nature sketching. And our trees no longer look like, stalks of broccoli. And, she's taught us some little tips and tricks to make even the least artistic person able to draw something resembling what they're looking at. So she's amazing for sketching.
See, now I find that encouraging, because I definitely feel like I have broccoli trees.
That's me. Total broccoli trees.
Yeah. Larry Joe is fabulous on so many different levels. Okay. So I want to bring another one of our teachers on. I'm so excited about this teacher as well. Her name is Annie Bell. And let me get her on here at this live stream. Let me see. There she is. Hi, Annie.
Hi. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Annie is a CM homeschool graduate. So she's been homeschooled the Charlotte Mason way, and she's an artist, an illustrator. I'm gonna brag on you. She's so we know Annie because Annie's been a student in like my Plutarch class and our local CM co-op, and she's taught classes for our co-op and other co-ops in the area, both nature study classes and art classes, because you have two main interests, right? Science and art.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly.
I love that. And so tell us about the two classes that you're going to be teaching.
Okay, so I'm going to be teaching Exploring Art, Fun with Different Mediums, and Create Your Own Field Guide Pollinators. Now, I'm very excited for both of these classes. I'll talk about pollinators first. So I created and taught a nature study and plant press curriculum for one of my homeschool groups that was a 6-month course. We met every other week at a nature location around our area and did nature study and sketched in our field guides and took plant presses. But then when COVID hit, I had to switch that to virtual classes. So I taught one class about pollinators during our virtual time together. And I just had so much fun. And I knew that I wanted to teach more about pollinators in the future. And then Rachel asked me to teach in the co-op. And I said, yes, I will teach about pollinators. Yes. So every class in our pollinators course, we're going to learn about a different kind of pollinator. And we're going to sketch them in our field guides and put down all the information about them and learn about individual species that are local to each student. And at the end of the class, each student will have their own field guide for pollinators in their area.
Yeah, and what I love about your class is that the kiddos are creating their own field guide, like literally. I think you have a little kit that you can put your own field guide together, and then they draw in there. So when they're done with the class, they're going to have this little notebook of all these different pollinators, and it's just so fun. I love it.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Okay, so tell us about your art class too.
Hold on.
Sorry.
For those of us in remedial nature study, are pollinators bees? Because I am definitely in remedial nature study. You will never catch me teaching any kind of science class. I'll be taking them, but I won't be teaching them.
One of my favorite things about pollinators is that when you think of pollinators, everyone thinks of bees and butterflies.
Good.
But
I'm on the right track.
Bats are pollinators. Bats are my favorite pollinator. So that's one of the awesome things we're going to learn about is like each week there's going to be, so in total there will be 8 classes and each one will be a different kind. So there's going to be bats, bees, moths, butterflies, everything. It's going to be wonderful.
Okay.
So Annie sent me the list of the topics for her classes. And I was like, beetles are, I had to look it up. I Googled it. I'm like, is he serious? Are beetles really pollinators? Oh, and then bats too. I had no idea about bats. So,
okay, mamas. Yeah. So any of you out there who are also in remedial nature study, you can find me in Annie's class because I'll have to take it so I can actually learn something. So this is for you.
But that's what's so cool about that it's, a fee for the whole family to take a class because moms can take the class too.
Yes.
And, sometimes we want to outsource. So sometimes we want, 45 minutes to go do something else or to spend time with one-on-one with another child. So we outsource. But then there's other times when we can learn from the experts, the people that know more than us, and then take that information and use it to then teach that subject better ourselves. So
when I taught my in-person nature study class, it began as, me teaching the children, but after about the second class, all of the parents, it was children and parents on our nature studies.
Yeah, they wanted to learn.
So this is a great opportunity to also be able to expand your own Charlotte Mason education, not just for your kids, because we all have weaknesses in different areas because you don't have strengths without having a weakness somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Annie, tell us about your art class. Annie is such a talented artist. I have her illustrating one of my products right now that's coming out soon. So she's doing all the illustrations for that one. But anyway, tell us about your class.
Okay, so exploring art, fun with different mediums is going to be exactly that, fun. I am so excited for this class. I have been an artist literally as long as I can remember. There's never been a time in my life where I didn't have art supplies just everywhere. So over the course of my life, I've learned everything I can about as many mediums as I can get my hands on. So in our class, each week we will learn about a different medium or technique or style. And each class is going to build upon each other. And so we'll learn skills each class that you can transfer to the next class. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff from watercolor to bubble painting to, so much awesomeness.
Yeah, string art, bubble painting. So like if you've got a kid that just loves art and art projects, this is great for that kid. Then if if you're like me and handicraft challenged, art challenged, then this is a great class to like dip your toes and learn some techniques, learn some things, just like Larry Joe's nature field sketching class, learning those skills for yourself so that you can then feel more confident in doing those subjects with your children.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And another thing with the art class is that this isn't an arts and crafts class. We're not making handprint turkeys.
Yeah.
We're doing actual real art.
Yes, because Charlotte Mason would put, no,
that would be twaddle.
Yeah, no, twaddle, right. It has to be beautiful and it has to be useful. Mm-hmm. Those are the criteria for handicrafts, beautiful and useful. So I love it. Thank you so much, Annie. We're so excited about your classes.
So am I.
I still have some of Annie's original artwork. She had made greeting cards back when we had that.
Right.
Remember with the CM fair, and all the kids sold their handicrafts, and I still have Annie's beautiful artworort.
Oh,
I didn't use it as a greeting card. We had to frame it because it was too pretty to send off as a greeting card.
Yes,
that means a lot.
That's so fun. Yeah, we have a framed one of Annie's too. That's how good they are. All right, Annie and Stacy, we're gonna say goodbye to you guys, but thank you so much for joining us. And you guys go sign up for their classes because they're gonna be so much fun. All right.
Yes.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
A lot of exciting stuff.
It's gonna be so fabulous. Is there? Okay, wait. I think there's classes I didn't even talk about. We've been talking for like 30 minutes, and I haven't even covered all the classes.
I know. It's crazy, but they're so exciting.
Okay. Oh, okay. So RaeAnna Goss, she's going to do a Solfa and composer study class. Oh, somebody's asking a question. Have we already covered the Spanish option? Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Suzanne Gose, Senora Gose, doing Spanish, flip-flop Spanish. She's the creator of flip-flop Spanish, and
there's two different sections of it.
There's two sections. Okay, yes, thank you for bringing that up. There's a religious theme section called the missionary kind of section, and then there's a non-religious section. So you can take whichever one you want, or you can take both also, she said. But she is so much fun, and she's the creator of that curriculum, and it's
better to teach it than the person who wrote it.
Yes, exactly. And she's a Charlotte Mason homeschooling mom. All of our teachers are Charlotte Mason, either homeschool moms or Charlotte Mason graduates. And so her class is going to be, we're definitely signing up for her class, because also not foreign language, very good at it.
So back to RaeAnna Goss.
Yes, RaeAnna Goss. How fabulous is she? She's created two different resources. One is composer study. It's called the Composer Study Companion. And there are these books that like walk you through composer study. And then she's also created a resource called Solfa. It's so much fun. And she teaches you solfa, which if you're not familiar with that, it's singing. It's a certain way of singing.
Sound of music, guys.
Yeah.
Do, re, mi. That stuff.
Exactly. That's solfa. So, so she is teaching a course with both of those subjects. I mean, so fabulous. And she tried to join us, but she was having technical difficulties. So, okay. Who else am I?
Solfa is definitely one of those that I like outsourcing.
Yeah. We love singing in our house. So I know solfa, like I grew up with it, I was in choir and all that sort of stuff. So, but it's so much fun. I want my kids to learn to,
I grew up with the sheet music and not the hand motion. So that was a total loss on me.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I think there's only one class we have not talked about.
Did you cover Leah Martin's?
That's the one.
Okay.
Okay, so Leah Martin, I was hoping she could join us too, but she is from My Little Robins, and she is like an expert in the early years. She runs a Facebook group called The Early Years Charlotte Mason. So it's all about like preschool and stuff. And she has so many fabulous resources on her website. But her class is going to be called The Idea Nest. And it's based on a book that she's written, and based on, I think she said volume 2 that's coming out, I think it's like next week, being published next week. And so
Exciting.
yes, so it's really cool to have her join us. She is so sweet and so lovely. And she actually went to the Ambleside schools. There are actual Ambleside schools around the country. It's not affiliated with Ambleside Online. It's not affiliated technically, I think, with the British schools, but like we have one of the schools, a couple of schools here in Texas. Yeah. But anyway, so she was actually a teacher at one of those Ambleside Charlotte Mason schools for several years. And that's where she got introduced to Charlotte Mason and obviously fell in love because, when you meet Charlotte Mason, how can you not fall in love with her and her philosophy?
You can't.
So she focuses on the early years and helps moms, do Charlotte Mason with their littles. It's so sweet. I love it so much.
Now, did you also explain about the completely free part of the forum?
Oh, well, no, I didn't. Thank you for bringing that up. So yes, there is a completely free part. We've started a forum on the Plenary website. So it's called the Charlotte Mason Forum, and anybody can join. Come on over, chat, register, ask questions. Every single teacher in the co-op will be on the forum to answer questions. And then also every single teacher in the co-op will be in the private section for the Charlotte Mason co-op area of the forum to have that one-on-one relationship with you and your students if you take their courses.
And different sections of the forum are moderated by different people too.
Yes. So like, I'm moderating all of it, but technically, the Plutarch citizenship, and then Leah Martin's going to do the early years, the preschool. Larry Joe's going to moderate the science area, and RaeAnna, the music section. Annie's going to do art, handicrafts. You're going to do handicrafts and drill and PE. So all of these people are accessible in the free part of the forum as well.
Right. Yeah. The difference with having the paid one is not only do you get more like one-on-one attention because it's a smaller group and it's behind that paywall, but also your kids can get access to kids' areas of the forum. You can't do that without having joined the co-op or the special needs membership because we wanted to ensure as much security as we possibly could for our families, especially our children. So that's why there is the paywall, because it's all about protecting privacy.
Yeah, privacy and security. So that's why there is the membership fee for the co-op. And I'm glad you mentioned the special needs membership. I was just about to mention that too. I didn't forget, I promise. Because yes, Amy launched a special needs membership area of the forum, and it's fabulous for that more one-on-one with Amy.
Well, and it kind of gives you an option of like a group consult instead of an individual consult, which was really why we came up with the idea in the first place, because it just takes so much time to put into an individual consult, because I tend to go so deep that you really do it helps having the group option, because then I can serve more families. So that was why we did that.
Oh, sorry, I popped this up on the screen and but yeah, so yes, I've had different co-ops from around the country use the Annotated Plutarch series, and Janelle popped up and said they're using it. I'm so appreciative. That's so sweet. I'm so glad. I just hope it helps people love Plutarch, because I do.
Well, it seemed to make a difference at the Great Homeschool Convention. So
yeah, I hope so.
We had a lot of people interested in that. But with the special needs membership, we just had our first family show and tell. So all the kids and moms got on, and everybody got to show or tell about something they loved. And the kids had so much fun. Like, they couldn't stop talking. And I think it was also kind of encouraging too, because, you know, you never really, when things don't, when things in life don't go the way you kind of assume that they will, because it's a little bit out of the average, whether, you know, you've got some kind of tragedy that's happened in your family, or some kind of illness, or just a developmental difference that, you know, changes the map a little bit. It's so encouraging to see other families who've also taken a little bit of a different track, whose house looks a little bit different from the average person's, and to go, oh, that's so cool. I have so many great things to look forward to.
Yeah, and you know, that just brings it back to the whole reason we started the forum and the co-op and the special needs membership. Community, building community. That's what it's all about. And I'm so grateful for you and for all the teachers and for everyone that will be joining us.
And we're thankful for you, because you figured out how to make this happen.
Oh, right.
We've been depending on me for that. It wouldn't have happened at all.
All that technical stuff, making it happen.
Nope.
There will be bumps. I'm just saying, there's going to be bumps and growing pains. So bear with us. But yeah, I'm super excited about it, that we actually made it happen. And it's live and ready to go. So we are starting classes September 7th, people. Join the co-op and get registered.
Super exciting.
Thank you. Okay, so we'll see you over in the Charlotte Mason Co-op.
Feel free
Thanks,
to
Amy.
ask any questions y'all need. We'll be keeping an eye out so that we can respond to those questions.
Yeah, good point. All right. Thanks, Amy.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.